Sunday, October 23rd, 2022. Today's lesson is all about heat. Recently did a full brake job on the GX here. Did pads, rotors, and calipers on the front, pads and rotors on the rear, and wouldn't you know it, after I was done, the whole parking brake assembly was dragging. Try as I might, I couldn't get the damn thing to free up. Turns out that the cable was frozen. So I did like anyone in my position would do. I removed all of the parking brake hardware, buttoned it up, and then put it back together so that I can drive it. Parking brake shoes are still sitting in my front seat. Now, I do want my parking brake, so I thought I'd take it over to the dealer because that thing just looked like a pain in the ass, and quite frankly, there's just some things that I'll pay to have done. Turns out they were a little reluctant to do it. They took one look onto this thing and looked at all the rust and said, you know what, this is going to be a can of worms. We're going to end up breaking a bunch of bolts and you're going to end up paying shop time for easy out and grinding. And the reason they're going to break a bunch of bolts is because apparently the cable runs above the gas tank, so in order to do the job, they have to drop the tank. Sure enough, one of the gas tank straps was completely rotted through, and so this just led to their worries about breaking things off. So I said, you know what, just put it back together and I'll take it home. I'll try taking off all the bolts. And that's what I did this weekend. That's what this vlog is about. After literally going through an entire can of PB Blaster and using ample amounts of heat, I was able to get 5 of the 6 skid plate bolts out without breaking them, and both of the gas tank strap bolts out. Since then, I've replaced both of the straps and I've left the skid plate off for now because this way I can drive it back to the dealer, say, hey, you can drop the tank now, do the parking brake cable, and just give it back to me. In the meantime, I'll redo the skid plate, and I don't know what I'm going to do about the broken off bolt yet. Maybe I'll have them do it. Anyway, heat. So if you don't have oxyacetylene, I do highly recommend using MAP gas. Propane's not going to get hot enough, but MAP gas can get hot enough to at least get something loose. I like to hit it up with some heat, spray it down with some penetrating oil. It quenches it a little bit, and that rapid heating, rapid cooling is what really helps break that rust loose. At least that's been my experience so far. Furthermore, take the time to run a tap through the threads just to clean them out and make sure you're not going to bugger them up again. And once you do that, I like to use copious amounts of anti-seize. Oh yeah, and feel free to disagree, but I'm a big fan of using an impact gun as opposed to a breaker bar. Breaker bars have their place, but the long continuous torque, I've broken more bolts than I have simply using an impact. So I'm looking pretty good. On the underside, I've got some brand new straps and some new hardware, freshly tapped out bolts for the skid plates, and some fresh hardware in there to plug it up for the time being until I get it back. More on this to come, of course. Hopefully I can get this thing fixed up before the weather gets too sour and I lose all my chances to work outside, but that was one of my weekend projects. How about you? What'd you work on this weekend? Hope you all have a great week. Until the next time, this is Tom the Dilettante saying have a wonderful week, and I will catch you next time. Take care.